Today we want to talk about the complete blood count. This is abbreviated the CBC, and this is a pretty big topic. It's not something that is just a simple little test. It's actually multiple different tests of several different cell types. And so this all looks at cells or pieces of cells that are in the blood. So the blood is kind of like soup. Soup is water, and then stuff is dissolved in the water, and then usually stuff is floating in the water that is bigger. So the stuff that is dissolved in the water are electrolytes and various waste products and micronutrients and macronutrients like protein and glucose and things like that. And those are things that we've talked about, other videos talking about chemistry tests and different hormone tests like thyroid and testosterone, things like that. Those are things that are found in the blood, but those are molecules that are dissolved in the blood. Today we're talking about the stuff that's actually floating in the blood. Now, you can't see glucose under a microscope. You can't see testosterone under a microscope. It's just too little. These are molecules. But cells are big enough that you can see them under a microscope. So you can't just look at somebody's blood and see stuff floating in it. Anything that's that big doesn't belong there. But when you look under the microscope, you see these cellular components that are in the blood. And they're basically three different cell types or cellular types that are in the blood. And they're commonly just called the white blood cells, the red blood cells, and the platelets. Now, cells are a cell membrane with fluid inside it and a bunch of cellular components, a nucleus that is where the DNA is stored. So that's what a cell is. So that is important to understand because white blood cells are cells. They have a nucleus and the rest of the cell components. Red blood cells are technically not cells. They're called erythrocytes, which means red cell, but they are technically corpuscles. And what that means is this is a cell membrane and all the liquid of a normal cell is inside it, but the nucleus isn't there. So sometimes it's better to refer to red blood cells as red blood corpuscles. And then platelets are the third type of cellular element, but platelets aren't even corpuscles really, because those are fragments of another type of cell that have basically just been torn out of it.